Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Harry Muppet. Welcome back to another Starcraft 2 Daily Masters cast. It's going to be a PvP today with a couple of awesome players. I believe we've cast one of them before. I'm not sure we've cast the other though. So JangBi up the top left side of the map. He is the orange Protoss player, and we've definitely cast at least one game of him before. But let's introduce him just for the hell of it. He's from South Korea. He does not appear to currently play for a team. In fact, it looks like he's retired. Hopefully I've got the right player, but it's only finding one player for JangBi. So, yeah, I do believe he is, do believe he is currently retired. So, anyway, yeah, and his, well, I suppose his WCS rank doesn't matter too much, but he's currently at number 102. And yeah, that's probably not going to get any higher anytime soon. So our other player is going to be Avenge, the blue Protoss player, and he is also from South Korea. He plays for the Startail team, and he's currently number 121 in the WCS with 275 points. So yeah, both of these players, I mean, getting into the WCS just by itself are quite a crazy pain in the ass. So these players definitely up there in terms of the high level master players out there. And we're going to see exactly what sort of Protoss PvP play they can sort of come out with today. Now, of course, PvP, usually you see a lot of stuff that you wouldn't normally see in PvZ or PvT. So Archons are definitely a focus. Immortals are very good. Stalker play is very good as well, although you do always see these Zealots with the legs, but Stalkers become that much better. Mortals are pretty good simply because Stalkers are that much better. And Archons, very, very beefy and a very nice use of gas because a lot of the Protoss units are just very big, very hard hitting, so Archons can soak up a ton of damage. Whereas things like Colossus and Storms, which are better for dealing with a lot of low health minions, they're still okay, but they're not as well used. I mean, the High Templars not as used as much, and the Colossus can be used, but they're only good when they're in a very large amount of numbers, or just getting rid of the Zealots in the front of the army. So they're still good against Zealots, but unless against a very Stalker-heavy army, Green Colossus is not going to be your first pick. Your Immortals would definitely help you out a lot more compared to Colossus. So yeah, I'm going to be checking this game out, seeing if there's anything interesting going on. Not really, both players just going for pretty standard stuff, going for the Cyber Core, going for the Warp Gate Tech. 2 gateways out for each of them. Looks like JangBi is starting to get his Twilight Council out, so he's going to be getting into the tech nice and early. This guy, my guess would be this is going to be for Blink. So we have seen a lot of good play out of Protoss players. They use the Observer to blink up a large amount of Stalkers into the back of the base. They start taking a lot of stuff out really fast, just sniping pylons, sniping important tech structures, and we have seen that quite a bit. So no doubt JangBi may be thinking about that. Yeah, there we go. So there's the Blink being researched. Avenge does have his own small force. It's a Stalker and a Mothership Core coming in. Should be fine. I mean, JangBi has enough to send that off, so should be no problems at all. There is 2 more Stalkers coming up, but I feel like JangBi should be fine. I mean, yeah, he's got more than enough to deal with this stuff. So Avenge not really pushing in super hard though. He's being a little bit cautious, which is good. The Mothership Core is actually pissing off, so leaving the Stalkers to fend for themselves. And they might get the Sentry here, but the Sentry moving back, and now it's going to be Stalkers versus Stalkers. But Avenge sees the forces on the field, sees the Mothership Core, decides he's really, at best, he can probably trade armies, and at worst, reinforcements can come in, and he loses everything for not a very good cost. So JangBi setting up his pylons, though. It looks like he is going for, is there a 4th? I thought, no, there's just 3 gates at the moment. He does have a Twilight Council, so it's going to be 3 gate Stalker pressure, and potentially going to be using the Mothership Core to blink up the cliffs, because yeah, he's really chrono boosting this out quite hard, and he's going to be having a ton of Stalkers out. But Avenge has got a robotic facility. He has got the first Immortal coming out right now. So that is going to be quite significant in defending this very, very sort of scary Stalker pressure that JangBi has pulled out here. So we can see he's got 8 Stalkers so far compared to only 5 for Avenge. But the Immortal really, really is going to make all the difference. And another one is already halfway done. Keeping the chrono up on that. Very, very nice. Worker numbers are even. And here we go. Avenge. Is he going to be moving in there? Yep, there we go. The Immortal's going nuts. We got the overcharge Nexus as well. So that's why he was hiding back down there. He wanted these guys to be within range of the Nexus so he can overcharge it. Beautiful stuff there. The Time Warp allowing him to get this stuff done. And the Immortal in the worst of positions here. But the other Immortal going to be wasting a couple of Stalkers. And JangBi in a bit of trouble. We actually saw a bunch of Zealots coming in here. Sorry I missed that, but there's too much things going on. Avenge did send in a bunch of Zealots in here while he was being attacked to sort of do a bit of an attack. We can't see the units lost, unfortunately. What we can do is we can see the kills on these Zealots. They got 1 kill each. So probably going to be workers killed. I don't think they're really focusing too much on anything else. So yeah, at least 2 workers going down there. And Avenge, with the Immortal and his second Immortal coming out, he's not really going to have to worry about the Stalkers anymore. He just wants to push out right now, really knock them back so he can start getting his own natural expansion. There we go. You see the damage this Stalker took just before it got out of range. Massive, absolutely massive. The Stalker's actually pushing straight back in, but they got to be careful they don't get flanked, because if they get flanked, it is just all over. They just have nowhere to go, and they would get crushed. Oh, look at this. It's actually recovered from a replay right there. So, very, very interesting. Obviously, there was some sort of disconnect issue, and they just restarted the game from that point. So, very nice. Or, I don't know, maybe one of these players... yeah, I don't know. Probably just a disconnect issue. So, yeah, there goes the pylon going down. A bunch more pylons. The Stalkers are still... They're trying to do something here, but they really don't have the numbers anymore. He got a Stalker, and I don't think he lost anything there. So it was a nice play from a position where he doesn't really have a lot. It was a nice play, but the Immortals are just too much pressure, and he's just got to keep running away. But Avenge, man, he's really going nuts on the Immortals. He's currently got 2 of them, with another one on the way. Although JangBi is still doing pretty good, and they're both going for robotics bays at the moment. He's trying to chase that Observer, finally manages to catch it. And yeah, we will see who's the first player to get out a ton of Colossus. Economy is not too good for either player at the moment. Avenge is putting out a bit of a lead, but at this stage of the game, the 12-minute mark, 36 workers, it's okay. But it's definitely, I would not say either of these players are playing a decent macro game at the moment. They're spending a lot on the Immortals and the Stalkers, and their macro is suffering a little bit, so they really need to push that out a little bit more. And with the second bases, and the natural expansion came out so late for each player, so it really had a lot to do with it. Stalkers, you're checking out a third base, not going to be seeing anything there, but no, I'm not sure if he's going to be really surprised about that. So here we go, Avenge going to be pumping back in here. Stalker's thinking about doing a jump up, but then Avenge is all over that. Not going to be letting these guys in. The Stalker's coming in, thinking about going for the natural, but they just cannot do it. And Avenge does not actually have Blink yet. I don't know if he wants it. He may just, I mean, when you got a ton of Colossus and you're just moving in with your Colossus army, you really don't need Blink. I mean, Blink is kind of not that helpful anymore. I mean, it's potentially still helpful in very specific cases, like if you've got Void Rays countering your Colossus and you want to blink in and take out the Void Rays, but even then the Void Rays would just shred the Stalkers, so yeah, I just do not know. I mean, it's good for that really, really early play, but other than that, I don't know. I just blink mid to late game in PvP. I'm not sure how useful it is anymore. I mean, it's good for keeping these guys alive, but this is still early game play. He just has not progressed from the early game with these Stalkers. His main army back at his base, he's getting the Colossus, he's getting the Immortals, he's progressing, but these guys are just out there just to harass us, so that is why the blink is still good for them. But yeah, this game is actually progressing quite a bit slower not really going too far. I mean, the worker numbers are definitely getting up there, and it's going to be pretty awesome. So we will see. A couple of Colossus and Avengers thinking about really pushing out. These Stalkers are going to see the main force coming, and then they're just going to be blinking out of there. Colossus hits them, and then they're like, ah, screw this, we're getting the hell out of here. Ooh, an actual hallucinated Phoenix. They're just for a bit of scouting. So he's probably going to maybe try and move those around, try and get around this main army and start harassing. But then again, maybe he just wants to pull them back. Maybe he feels like he needs those forces to attenuate his main army. And here we go, Stalkers coming over from this pylon over here. This one only just finishing. And Avenge pushing his army size very, very hard. He's got 2 Colossus versus 2 Colossus. Neither player has any upgrades as far as the weapons and armor yet, so it's going to be 0-0 versus 0-0. And here we go, moving in. There's a bit of a bottleneck here, but the bottleneck is affecting both players right now. And JangBi with his 3rd Colossus out is going to have a bit of an advantage, even though I feel like Avenge probably has a bit more Stalkers, a bit more ground forces. The 3 Colossus, if he can keep them alive, is definitely going to make a difference. There goes that pylon. And Avenge going to be pushing in, trying to make something happen. He's actually got a War Prism here with 2 Immortals. If you could drop those nice and close, start taking out the Colossus. It's a very micro-intensive move, but man, that would be awesome if you could make it happen. However, he does choose to just run back, and the War Prism actually going out a different direction, so maybe he can jump in there. I mean, if he jumps in there, snipes the Robotics Bay, that would be pretty huge. Because I mean, just cutting off the Colossus production, very, very nice. There, he's actually going to jump down, knock out this base. Does get a cancel off those, so jump straight back in. We're going to see a whole bunch of stuff produced up here, and suddenly Immortals being knocked down here, not too good of an idea. So Avenge is probably not going to land him. He's thinking about it. No, he's just going to run back. He's going to run right off the edge of the map. Just keep it safe over there. And meanwhile, JangBi trying to get his 3rd base up. Once again, Avenge just starting his own 3rd base, so both players moving on to the mid game. I feel like they're sort of already in the mid game. I mean, they got Colossus, but I feel like the mid game, yeah, alright, they probably were in the mid game. I was about to say mid game doesn't start until you have a 3rd base, but I suppose it does. I suppose you can go hard on the end game units with only 2 bases, and then you're definitely in the mid game, I would say. So, yes, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Oh, I'm so tired right now. I just don't know why. I got tons of sleep, but I'm just so sleepy. So we'll just have to push through because I want to get a few games done today. I've definitely been slacking off a little bit, getting out the Daily Masters. I'm actually casting this on the same day that it needs to be uploaded. So, yeah, slack old me. But Phoenix going around, having a look, seeing some stuff, very, very awesome. I think this game actually goes for a fair amount of time, so it's not going to be over anytime soon. I'm always sounding like I want it to be over so I can go take a nap, but no, it's going to be awesome. Look at this 6 Colossus, man, and JangBi producing a ton of Colossus as well. He's going to end up with 7 in just a sec. He's got 6 and another one on the way, so 2 more from Avenge. It's going to be Colossus City all over the place. It's like War of the Worlds or something like that. Really, really nuts. Look at this. Avenge doing a great job at taking down these pylons. I don't know if he knows about their zealots. I'm not sure if he cares either. So, interesting. War Prism coming out again. I don't know what happened to that other War Prism. I guess it died. Or maybe it somehow came back and dropped off the Immortals into the main army, but yeah, let's do the good old follow mode for this guy. Is he going to be moving in? Not sure if he is. He's having a go. So we'll just have to see if he makes anything happen. There's tons of defense in the main base though. Look at those Stalkers going nuts. And the main base of JangBi actually moving out. He's got a few Archons. I feel like Avenge is only just starting to get Archons out. He hasn't got any so far. And here we go, this force going down. These guys are out for a bit of a scout. They're going to have to run back to the main army and, yeah, do a bit of a forward scouting for this army just to see where it is. Oh, so many Colossus hits right there. Just absolutely insane. We have a look at the upgrades. We got 2 for JangBi, 1 for Avenge. So JangBi definitely has the advantage right here. He's got 7 Colossus. Avenge has 10 though. And look at this beautiful thing, man, he's got right there. He just needs to get him into the kill zone. and he hits them from every side at once. So JangBi does not know how screwed he is. He's going to get flanked and hit from the front at the same time. He's going to be taking a ton of damage. It looks like Avenge has got some Archons in there. The Zealot's getting in nice and close, actually doing a bit of a damage. That's the downside to having really spread out. The Zealots just charge everything at once, and you don't really have any sort of concerted defense. But the Colossus all getting in there, all hitting everything at once, really doing a good job. But they haven't taken out the Immortals. There we go, the Immortals going down. But the Immortals killed a lot of Colossus right there. And yes, we're looking pretty good. A bunch more Zealots coming in. Great job building this pylon out the front. But choosing not to move in. And I think we pretty much evened out right there. 3 Colossus, 4 Colossus. But JangBi has more Zealots. So pretty much an even game right there. However, over time, the upgrade difference is going to start to definitely favour JangBi, but he's only got that upgrade advantage for another few minutes, and by then I assume Avenge will be going for weapons level 3. So we'll just have to see. He's building up a ton more forces, but so is JangBi, man. That's a ton of Archons he's managed to get out in a very, very short amount of time, and joined with the Colossus, he's just going to shred the Zealot numbers of Avenge. And suddenly Avenge is in a lot of trouble right here. He really, really is in a lot of trouble. Getting some Colossus support over there, but the main force over here is just getting hit so hard. And the Zealot numbers, I mean, with those Archons to finish off Avenge, the Zealots, JangBi's Zealots are just going absolutely nuts. He's got the high ground advantage, which might help him defeating these Zealot numbers, but oh man, I feel like JangBi is just doing such a great job here. Really, really good job. And yeah, here we go. This Colossus may actually be able to survive. No, the Zealot's going nuts on it. And that's the first time I've ever seen seen a single Zealot take out a single Colossus. Completely insane, but JangBi already getting out reinforcements, and Avenge is going to want to stomp these forces nice and quick. Probably take out all those pylons he can get a hold on, but he wants to get some Archons out straight away. He really needs some beefy forward units to try and hold off this very, very aggressive advance of JangBi. The only thing that's really going for him is that JangBi doesn't have any Colossus, because he's just too far away from the factory and they take ages to get over here. So does not currently have anything, so he can move out with his own Colossus support, really start to push stuff forward. But JangBi, he's got a ton of forces actually. I feel like he's just got gateways all over the place. 10 gateways, although Avenge does have 9 gateways, and the income, oh, it's actually lost quite a lot of workers there, so that's making a difference. And that's definitely something that Avenge is having to deal with right now, and so slowly but surely I think that JangBi is building a bit of a unit advantage. We've seen how many units he can warp out right here. Avenge has the capacity, the capability to warp out that many units, but his economy is suffering a bit more. And trying to push out the Colossus with all those ground forces out of his gateways as well, he's not having as much luck as JangBi does, simply because he does not have the income that JangBi does, because he lost all those workers on that excellent attack from JangBi. He lost like 10, 12 workers, something like that. So yeah, not good. And now he is a bit behind in terms of the army supply, and this is just going to go downhill from Avenge from now on, unless he can get some really, really awesome plays. I feel like he's eventually going to lose, but whether or not he can get those plays, I just do not know. We will have to see though. JangBi looks like he's going to max out very, very soon. I mean, he hasn't got a lot of minerals, but his income is alright. I mean, he's beating Avenge by a bit, and a bit is all he needs to build up this advantage. And you got to remember, he's got the advantage as well in the weapons. He's got 3 weapons versus 2 weapons for Avenge, and that is definitely not going to be a small advantage. That's going to be very, very big, and it counts to every single unit in this entire battle. Here he goes, putting the pressure in. Avenge is ready to go. He's got a lot of Archons out very, very fast, and this is going to help him out quite a bit. But reinforcements coming in from JangBi in the form of all these Stalkers and stuff, and Avenge forced to fall back and trying to morph in some Zealots to try and help out, but it's just not working. The Stalkers, I said Blink was kind of useless at the end game, but it's actually quite useful now, blinking to chase down the Colossus as they're running away. Really, really nice. And JangBi, with those a bit extra economy, manages to get out an excellent, excellent army, and just does a really, really great job. So really great job from him, and congratulations to JangBi. So thank you very much for watching this game. It was a great game. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for another one. So stay tuned. This has been Hairy Muppet.